Shit, 2. Just under 202. Boy, we all lose weight when we go away, huh? Brady lost 2 pounds while we were away. He was 36.5 pounds. We went for the vet yesterday for a recheck. He was 34 pounds. So we all lose weight when vacation comes. He goes on like a hunger strike when when we go away. He doesn't like to eat a lot. So you guys just saw the weight. Physique update 201.6. Fucking, that's the latest I've been in probably since the wedding in September. And it really goes to show you guys that if I'm not training heavy enough and eating enough, my weight just fucking drops. It's just part of my genetics. I don't think it's ever going to change. Unless I'm eating fast food, I just get fatter. If I'm training and I'm eating good foods, and if I'm not training hard enough and I'm not fucking training heavy enough, I'm not eating enough good food, my weight just fucking drops. Like it's just how it is. So 2 things this week that's happened since I got back. So this is kind of close to the other physique update because I didn't actually post a physique update till, let's see, maybe Friday or something like that. But it was done last Monday. So it was my birthday last Monday. So I don't know what my weight was, but I could feel myself coming down in weight. I don't even know what my weight was the one before that. So whatever the fuck it was. I think it was probably 205 or 206 or something like that. So I'm down about another 4 pounds since vacation, since the honeymoon. So again, the 2 things that happened. Number 1, when we got home for the honeymoon, our neighbor has a Great Dane, and it's a puppy, and it's fucking big already. It's probably, I don't know, maybe like 100 pounds already. It's huge, and it's fucking very excitable. And she opened her door, and I was walking up the stairs with Brady, and when I got to like a certain step, the dog came running down the stairs, and if it gets past me towards the door and somebody opens the door, it's gonna fucking run right out the door. It's gonna be hard to catch. So I knew, I was like, fuck. So the dog came running down. I just literally reached out like this with my arm and grabbed the dog's collar on the way by. And it kind of pulled my shoulder on the way down. And I was having kind of a little bit of issues with the shoulder after it actually kind of hurts a little bit now. It's a little sore, like in a kind of weird way. So I know I did something fucking stupid, but I don't want the dog to get out and get hurt or if I could disappear at Christmas time. The kids would fucking lose their shit. It just would have been bad. So a couple of days I laid off the gym and just kind of trained really light. I did back really, really light on Friday. It seemed to be okay, but I didn't really want to push it. That and yesterday on my fucking cheat day, this is weird. So I had elevation burger in the morning, and then Aaron and I had chicken and rice from a restaurant close by here, and I put this extra little sauce thing on my chicken and rice, which I normally don't have. And I think there's some sugar. I don't know what the fuck's in it. It's kind of sweet. And about an hour later, my stomach fucking hurt so bad, and my stomach was so distended that it was like I can't even push it out as far as my stomach was distended. It hurt so fucking bad, and I was just kind of like sitting around. I did a few Skypes, I did one Skype, and then I was doing some work on my other BioKicks channel, and I was like, fuck it, I need to eat again because I've only had 2 meals today. So I ordered Domino's. I got a sandwich from Domino's. I ate that sandwich, and I swear to fucking God, my stomach was in such pain. I actually went outside to try to get some air in the fucking cold because it was so painful that I was like, fuck, I don't know. Maybe I should go to the hospital. I don't even know what the fuck was wrong. I haven't felt pain like my rotator cuff was the last time I felt fucking pain like that. I mean, it was so bad, and I couldn't get comfortable. It wouldn't go away. It took about 2 hours, and eventually it subsided. So there was something, either the chicken was bad or that sauce or whatever fucked my stomach up. I was really fucking sick. I almost woke Aaron up to go to the hospital. It was so bad. And, I got up today and I was like, I'm scared to eat. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm scared to eat because it hurt so bad. But I'm going to have oatmeal and protein powder this morning. And I'll be sticking to my, kind of diet foods for the rest of the day. You guys can hear Brady running up behind me. I'm going to take him for a walk before I eat. Not that that's cardio or anything. But, yeah, you guys can see that, basically, let's do the physique update now. I guess I could show you pretty much what I look like. I mean, not much different than last week, except I do feel a little flatter than I was last week because I definitely, have not been eating enough, and I've been training a little bit lighter in general since last week. So now this week, something a little different. So we'll get to that in a second. All right, Breeds, it's walk time now. All right, let's walk. Brady's walked, and we are now going to get ready to have meal 1, which I'm kind of scared to eat because my stomach hurt so bad last night. Little things that are going to change in my training this week are, we get the LA Fit Expo coming up, which is in a few weeks, a couple weeks. And I want to kind of look a little bit better for the LA Fit Expo, a little fuller. You're meeting a lot of people, taking a lot of pictures. You know, the people, inspiring people by meeting them. They want you to look good. I think it's important to look the part. I mean, I just do. And I like looking as good as I possibly can. So first we're going to start with oatmeal. So I'm going to go back to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training, which I did a little series on that before. Now, I've talked a little bit about it before, and I think John Meadows is the only one to really kind of touch upon how to gear your training towards this, and he's been doing it for quite a while. And I think for older guys, it's actually a good way to train where you can't train as heavy as you used to maintain your gains. Now, you're basically, in layman's terms, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and muscle hypertrophy. There's two different ones. One is actual solid muscle tissue hypertrophy training, muscular hypertrophy. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is essentially causing the cell to retain more fluid on a regular basis. So you're essentially expanding the cell, the muscle cell itself, by adding more fluids in there, keeping it overcompensated. That bigger muscle cell gives you a fuller look. So you're fuller on the scale without actually, I mean, you're fuller in person without actually being heavier on the scale. And it worked out really well for me. I used the intracell before, and I'm going to add a couple things now this time to try to kind of expand on that, no pun intended, expand on that a little bit for the LA Fit Expo. And one of the things I want to play with a little bit is I wanted to add a creatine, and we have a Rupt from Primeval Labs, which that's actually going to be discontinued, so it's not going to be around much longer. But also has the Elevate ATP in it, which it actually is a form of ATP if you look at the data, which actually will produce more power, more reps. So I'm going to add that to it with the intracell, which the intracell acts like a carrier, shoving everything into the muscle cell. And the new product, VasoGorge from Primeval Labs, that literally just came out, it's a huge pump product. Now, the pump is very important towards getting this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's not a rep range. It's not like, well, 15 to 20 reps. I may do 20 reps. I do 50 reps. I may do sets of 100 to get as much blood in that muscle as I possibly can with more water, more creatine, more, glucose, everything shoved into that muscle and get it super, super overcompensated, hydrated. And you'll notice that if you can do that consistently enough with your training, you keep that fuller look. Like even when you're not training, your off days, you're still fuller. Like your body maintains it, and your needs for water actually go up too, which is interesting because you're storing more water, right? So you actually need more water for that fuller look. So you notice that you're actually thirsty more too. You put some water in this shit. So basically, we're going to try to expand the cell, and get that fuller look for the LA Fit Expo without having to train as heavy. No, don't get me wrong. It's not like you only train light. You'll still do heavy sets, but they're not like 1 rep max sets. They're like a 10 to 12 kind of hypertrophy range. And then you're adding in the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy sets with peri-workout nutrition, which is around your workout, which is the most important thing for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Now, like I said, John Meadows was the first one to gear his training towards this. And if you've noticed, he does a lot of these high rep, high volume sets that, it may seem kind of insane, but he's been able to back off the super heavy weights that he was known for when he was younger. And if you have injuries and shit, this is a good way to start training. And I kind of wanted to experiment with it because there was like a level 2 training in Serious Growth 3, Big Beyond Belief. Their level 2 training was like 35 rep squats. Like they do have a section in that is this extremely high rep thing that none of us really knew what the fuck was going on with it, but it was part of the training, and it was like as you were going through it, you did notice more muscle growth or a different type of look to your physique. And this is going back like to the 90s when I got that program. But, it's weird because you don't really kind of piece things together and you don't really understand things. You're just kind of doing them back then, reading the book and following it. And, as I got a little bit older, I listened to John Meadows talking about it, I learned about peri-workout nutrition, trying to find new ways to get a better physique without going in the gym and trying to do 1 rep maxes and shit and hurting myself. And, it basically worked out really well. You'll have different, for instance, so here's something that's kind of a good way to talk about it. Arnold would be more sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training where he did a lot of volume, high reps, never really trained to failure, and he had that full, round, pumped look all the time. Mike Mentzer was high intensity. Now, both great champions, both great physiques, two different types of look to the physiques, two different styles of training. And a lot of people would say, well, Jerry, that's just where it worked for them. What if Arnold applied both techniques, high intensity and the high volume sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, and what if Mike Mentzer did the same? What would their physiques look like then? Would they have both been better versions of themselves? My opinion is yes, they would have. So it's kind of like more of a well-rounded overall training that I'm going to try to do now for the next couple weeks, and I'll take you guys along for the ride. You'll see it today. I'm going to take the VasoGorge and the Erupt before my workout with the intracell, and then the intracell during the workout itself, and then I'll have a shake afterwards, immediately afterwards, so that before, during, and after period is that window where you're going to try to shove as much nutrients in the muscle cell and water in the muscle cells as you possibly can. and expand it. And you're going to notice within a couple of days, you look different. You really do look different if you're training like this. And it's not about a rep range. It's not like, well, if you hit 15 reps is a magic number. It is literally a person-to-person type. You go to, you literally cannot maintain the pump anymore. Like it's just a painful pump. And sometimes people start to lose the pump. You don't want that to happen. If you're losing the pump, you've gone too far. So the pump is kind of where it's about. So strength training in high intensity and the pump all together is really a well-rounded routine now for a 41-year-old to try to maintain his physique. So I will definitely keep everything posted, and we're going to eat this fucking oatmeal because it's starting to get fucking yucky in the bowl. So, and then head to the gym.
Okay, what you doing, buddy? You watching a movie? You literally lay here and just watch this thing. What you doing? Come up here and watch me doing that. Cleaning the floor? Just cleaning the floor? Yeah. Don't forget to clean the carpet, look. Oh, you got stuck. Push that shit around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stuck. Stuck. Let me go the other way. Gonna clean under the tree. Alright. Ready? Ready to go to the gym? Alright.
I'm going to do some overdubbing here with the voiceovers because it's just too fucking boring without it. So, chest and shoulders today. First exercise, this chest press. You guys have seen me do this before. This really allows me to press a little heavier and not bother my rotator cuffs. I did 4 sets here. This is the final set where I start a little bit heavier, and then I'll do drops all the way down. So I'll do like 10, 10, 10, 10 till I get, I don't know, it was like 40 reps or something like that. I don't know. I'm not counting them right now as I'm watching this, and I don't remember what it was, but I think it was 30 to 40 reps in the last set. So I pyramid up in weight till I get to my heaviest weight, where I can get about 10 to 12 reps smoothly. You'll notice that I keep a very rhythmic cadence with this. And once I'm able to hit those 10 to 12, I'll drop the weight a couple plates, hit another 10 to 12, drop a couple plates. And again, this is for the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. Like, this really forces more blood in the muscle than usual, and it's not something that I would use like all the time. I'll probably train like this for like, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 weeks to 6 weeks before I have to back off and let my body heal up a little bit, and I'll just do straight sets at that point. But you know, starting your workout like this, I mean, it really is a lot of volume for the muscle for the first set, to be doing 4 sets of presses, pyramiding up, and then drop setting the last one like that. And by the time you're done, I mean, you have a pretty good pump already, but that's just the beginning, because we're just getting warmed up with a higher volume routine. And I know by the time you get done with this first exercise, you know, the pump is good, but you still have literally, you know, a few more exercises to go with more of a pump to get, which, you know, by the time you're done, you're super fatigued. From here, I move on to the incline dumbbell fly press combo. So I did 4 sets here, and each set is done exactly like this. So I think these are like 30-pound dumbbells here, so it's not too heavy. And you're coming down and getting a stretch, but I can't go too far down because of my rotator cuff. And what happens is I start to get to a certain point, I can feel that really burning in the upper pec. I'll switch right into presses. And you'll see me press here in that mid-range of motion and just crank them out for as many reps as I can get till it starts to fail. So you hit 3 to 4 sets of that, and I'm telling you right now, just that in the first exercise, you're going to be pumped as fuck by the time you're done. And then we'll move on to the cable crossovers. So this is kind of the opposite of what everybody else does. So I'll come to the crossovers and actually go a little bit heavier with straight sets with these, as opposed to most people are doing heavier straight sets with the compound exercises and hitting the isolation exercises with a pump. I go the opposite. So I'll hit like 12 to 15 heavier here, and no like supersets, no drop sets, none of that shit like that. You'll see me actually start to fail with it. And you know, like I said, it's usually the opposite of what people do. But for me, I just find that this works better and I get a better pump like this. Moving on to the presses. Now you'll see, as I press these up, I only come a certain range of motion down. Again, that is because of my rotator cuff. The last time I was doing these, even though they were light, going all the way down, I paid for it for like a week. Like, it hurt for like a week. So I have to stay in a limited range of motion to train like this. But I'll still hit like 35 to 40 reps with the presses, because pressing heavy really no need anymore. You know, it fucks up my joints. I have a messed up rotator cuff. There's no point. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I just need to have that shape and want to lift. I mean, I love lifting, so it's like, if I can get in the gym and train and feel good and get a pump and look good, then that's pretty much all I'm after. From there, still getting used to these fucking Versa grip things. From there, seated lateral raises. So here you see me do rest pause sets here. So I'll do 4 sets here of rest pauses. And again, guys, this is not just a high volume workout. This is a high intensity workout at the same time. High intensity doesn't necessarily mean that you use heavy weights, but you're employing these high intensity techniques where you are really pushing the muscle to, you know, it's not failing, but it's getting pushed endurance wise. And the idea with the sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training is not really to train to failure, but get more blood, more fluid, more nutrients all pushed inside that muscle to where you can expand it and hopefully keep them there. You can actually see, as I keep doing these, my delts just keep getting more and more pumped. And this is just the only exercise that I do for side delts. And with a dumbbell, I do a side cable lateral, which you'll see next. But this is like the first real side lateral in the workout, and they get pumped very quickly. From there, we'll move on. You can actually see my upper chest and shoulders starting to get that really solid pump now. I mean, yeah, I don't look like a fucking pro bodybuilder, but compared to when I walked in the gym, there's a drastic difference in thickness and roundness. And I'll hit a high reps on this again. You know, this keeps more of a constant tension than the dumbbells does. And I'll hit 3 to 4 sets here. I think I wound up doing 3 sets here of the cable laterals. It's just a little bit of a different feel than the dumbbells. And a lot of people, you know, they'll say, well, Jerry, either you fucking lift it or you don't. It doesn't matter feel. It doesn't matter this. It doesn't matter that. You know, I like to feel
good when I'm in the gym. You know, I'm not in there trying to be a competitive bodybuilder anymore. I go in there because I enjoy it. And I want my body to change, and I want it to do what I want it to do. I mean, I basically didn't train heavy. I did those little bit of circuits for a week, you know, underate drastically, lost 5 pounds in a week. And now it's time to get back in the gym and fill back out again and, you know, get back to where I was before I left. And, you know, if you're out of the gym doing stuff like I was doing, like the circuits and stuff, and not eating right for a week, usually it takes you about 2 to 3 weeks when you try to get back into it. I like to try to have the same amount of time to get back as it did to regress. So if I get back in the gym, if I was out of the gym for a week, I like to try to take a week to progress. And, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but, you know, more often than not, it does for me. So from there, we move on to the rear delt cable laterals, which I love this exercise. It's something you can't really go too heavy on, and that's okay at this point because I really feel like I don't really need to go too heavy in pretty much anything anymore. There's just no point. I mean, I like to go heavy sometimes if I feel good, but every single thing that I do lateral-wise, press-wise, even bench press, like my traps take over. Like you rotate your shoulders backwards and pinch your shoulder blades together. I'll get a pump in my traps from bench pressing, which is the weirdest fucking thing, but it's just how genetically I'm structured and how my body is. So I hit 4 sets here. Not really to failure, just, I mean, my delts are fatiguing, they're burning, they hurt at this point. And the last one, I'll hit these combinations, which it doesn't look like much because it's only 10-pound dumbbells, but at this point in the workout, with the volume and the intensity that there's been through the whole thing, these fucking things hurt. So you hit front laterals for 10 to 15, maybe 20 reps, depending on how you feel, and go right into, after this, non-stop. It looks kind of funky. Wait for it. Into presses. Now, the dumbbells are not heavy, but it fucking hurts. And this is going to conclude the Sarcoplasmic Hypertrophy training. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we are out.